Well, well, well. If it isn't another game dev vlog. It's been a while, hasn't it? You probably thought I gave up. Well, you'd only be partially right, because I've taken some extended breaks, but I have not given up. And in fact, today we're going to be doing a little showcase. So, since when we last excuse me, when we last left off, I was working on that bunker game, and yeah, I was making some progress, got the inventory started. At a certain point, I realized it was not that inspiring to me. I didn't have a lot of motivation, a lot of direction. So I decided I wanted to make something that I would be inspired by. So I made the terrible mistake of deciding I would make um, first person 3D survival zombie game with a lot of details similar to titles like Project Zomboid. Um, and yeah, when you've never actually done much more other than a Flappy Bird kind of clone, that's a pretty tall order. So, man, I don't even know how long it's been now. Over a year, sure, easy year and a half maybe. Let's kind of take a look around and see what I've been working on. So to start things off, really, first of all, I did not make any of these assets. Okay. So I did not make the art, didn't make any of the assets. In a perfect world, they're placeholders. But likely, for any early access, or beta alpha rather, it would be the current art. So, that being said, I got a neighborhood pack like here. The initial level, this is just really the demo level for the asset pack. They did a great job, but when it comes to an actual level, I'm going to be making my own for an initial. I got into some of that, got some nice assets like Microverse and tons of add-ons to deal with that later, but not something I want to address right away. So now that we have the art out of the way, let's talk about everything else. So I did do some art, some things. Mainly now you can tell I'm in the game view and we're first person, right? So you can look around and you'll notice you can actually see your body. That was super important to me. It's call it whatever you want, first person, full body awareness, whatever. I wanted that feature for immersion. It's pretty big. Um, so icons, we have some icons in the bottom left, bottom right. This is obviously all super placeholder, even their positions. I'm sure I'll have them all either bottom left or bottom right, not split. But some are functional, some aren't. The stomach, hunger, and hydration in the bottom right, those are actually functional. Um, and then the health and stamina, which is lightning bolt, of course, are also functional. Temperature and fatigue are not. Those are not implemented yet. But I did implement the status system, sorry, so I can implement those a lot easier. Anywho, so we'll do a little sprinting just for fun. Look down and you'll see the stamina is indeed draining. Jump, drains even more. Sweet. Hunger, hydration. Hopefully you can hear. Got some footsteps going on there, which do change, of course, based off of the terrain you're on. Concrete now. You'll notice we have context menu. Context menu is super important to implement just from a user experience standpoint. So players can quickly and easily interact with things they can interact with in the world, and do so in hopefully a non-cumbersome manner. So you'll also see it glowing yellow. That's also super temporary placeholder. I'm not even sure if I'll keep that. Kind of goes to realism versus user experience kind of thing. And if I do keep it, it won't be that, very basic yellow. But anyways, let's do a little searching. So you got our wheel there. And voila, you'll see immediately, I was going to do a bigger reveal with this, but What I've been working on a lot. This is kind of the main UI in progress. Um, and yeah, it's been quite the adventure so far, and we're definitely not done with it yet. I have a lot of placeholder stuff going on, but anyway, you'll notice top middle we have our equipment tab, which we have slots that are of course all subject to change. I probably could quit saying that because everything is. But yeah, we got our back slot, headwear, jacket, upper body, yada, yada, yada. You'll notice a condition bar at the bottom for each item. You'll notice if I hover for a little bit, we get a tooltip with some stats that probably won't even make it in a final game, like the rain protection and armor and that. I likely will have a lot of that, but we'll see how much of it makes it and if I'll keep it as a tooltip. Tooltip, obviously, still very much work in progress. I'm figuring out how I can organize that to make it look better. We might just end up keeping that as a backdrop and um, filling in things instead in the window for information, like one line at a time or whatever. Like, for example, over here that I have. So we could talk about that quick. Basically, I have the backdrop window for stats, and then each stat kind of gets instantiated in there. And obviously, we have some UI elements and stuff to make it work. But if we grab the shoes, you'll see it'll start dragging with the mouse, of course. We could drop it here. And look at that. Our piggies are out. We got no shoes on now, too. Close the menu and look down. Hey, look at that. Same thing. Cool. So we can actually even right click and you'll see that context menu pop up again. And we get equip or drop this time. So let's equip it. Hey, look at that. They're equipped and we can see it. Speaking of which, we could rotate around. You'll notice a player in the game is not rotating. We achieve that through like a little pivot point and we rotate that instead. Change the FOV to zoom in. Obviously got to clamp all this stuff too, but we could go up or down as well. Some more detail going on. Really see our beautiful character there. Hello. Excellent. So let's go ahead and drop it. Hey, look at that. Now we could equip, loot, or drop. We should probably just make drop not show up there again. But anyway, equip it. Hey. Let's drag it, drop it off the menu. Dropped. Equip it. Drag it, drop it on the menu somewhere. And it returns. Excellent. So of course we have a grid-based inventory going on. We even have some swap features implemented. Swap some items around like so. We have quick keys. So alt click, quickly equip these. And on that vein, control click will swap between containers. So if I had another container open like here, control click. Hey, look at that. Very cool. And if we get multiple, we can organize things. It automatically sorts, depending on the space available. So, probably noticed, this is all still, I need to figure out formatting here, but, and I may just have a character model viewer for the entirety of the left side and stats and that somewhere else. We'll see. Still feeling out the UI. But yeah, you probably saw the health. We do have various limbs as well here. We actually have more than that even too, because we're basically just using the ragdoll for that, which we have a ragdoll set up for our player model and the zombies both. So there's actually, a hand hitbox, lower arm, upper arm, similar for the legs, of course. And then just through code, basically I just simulate these limbs. That being said, let's take some damage. Okay. So I could straight up just take damage, or I could start a bleed, because that was partially, of course, testing the bleed status system. I was pretty proud of that. I can have multiple bleeds going on with independent timers. Independent, really everything, damage ticks, even if we wanted things like that. Likely won't come into play much, but hey, we built it. Let's just take some damage though. So sadly, this won't immediately update the menu because a lot of this stuff is linked up through events, and I did not hook this up to the actual damage taken event since it's just a test function. But anyway, let's take 25 head damage. Hey, look at that. It's getting a little pink there. Take 15 head damage. Ooh, it's more pink. It's redder. Let's take 8 more. Okay, what do we have left? Current health, component health 20. Okay. So yeah, it's getting pretty red. Let's take 8 more again. All right, yeah, it's quite red now. So yeah, you get the idea. We could do spine. Give it some heavy bleeds, shall we? 3 heavy bleeds. So you'll see bleed tick time. We got 3 different ticks going on there. Oh yeah, so we're gonna be starting to bleed out pretty quick with 3 heavy bleeds there. Wait for 1 more tick. And yeah, getting pretty red, you can see. We'll go ahead and stop the bleed. Oh, and it actually did just stop 1 bleed, you could see. Now we got 2. Let's go ahead and stop both before we bleed out entirely. So a little bit more at the interaction because this was fun. Doors, of course, we got open, lock, or kick. Let's go ahead and open it, close it. And let's go ahead and kick it. I was able to implement kick pretty quickly. It was fun to do. Can do something with the animation lock. So you'll notice, of course, it didn't interact with this, which is fine. I'm not worried about that. But you'll notice I kicked it off the hinges. That doesn't always happen, though. Oh, yeah. So there's some shenanigans with the hitboxes here, with the houses, with the prefabs, but we'll get that sorted. But if I kick it from the other way, the way, you know, it's supposed to open, it just opens up. So yeah, that was fun. Just a little, and you can lock it too from the inside. I haven't implemented keys or anything like that yet, but we'll do that eventually. So yeah, we've covered pretty much all of this, except for a very important component. And that would be, you see me going for the zombie spawner. Let's go ahead and enable that. I really need to make a test script just to spawn some zombies in while I'm already in. But currently I did not make that. Let's just go with like 50. So yeah, there's a lot I'm not talking about, of course. I likely can't even, I'm sure I can't remember basically half the systems and things we have implemented here, but I'm sure you're getting a pretty good idea of what's involved. So you'll see we have some zombies. Let's go ahead, go to scene viewer. You know, it's funny. This brings up, this is a good time to talk about our optimization. So you'll notice these zombies here disappeared, right? So that's because still a work in progress, naturally, still being tweaked. But I hooked into the Unity culling system to make a script for optimization because, as you might imagine, having hundreds or maybe even thousands of zombies on the map or in one, you know, area at a time would be quite insane, especially if you're not using a lot of multi-threading for stuff. So yeah, I'm using the Unity culling system to help optimize, to manage that. As you can see, the zombies just straight up disappeared. This one did not, this other one did not, because you can see we're looking this way, so they're within our line of sight. However, this fence should probably be blocking them and it's not, but that's a different issue. Anyway, let's go ahead, look at them. They're back. So basically these zombies run on a behavior tree. So you can see we got a behavior tree. And speaking of multi-threading, this is not the multi-threaded behavior tree, sadly, that came out. This was already kind of old when I got it. They have since released a multi-threaded behavior tree. I'll definitely be getting that at some point. I still have to do more profiling to see how much of a performance hit the current behavior tree is with a lot of zombies out, but I'm sure it'll be pretty substantial. Anyways, yep, so we got some behaviors that will show, hey, we can demonstrate a behavior right now. It saw me, it started chasing me. I did not do anything with the pathfinding with just these test drawers, so don't mind that. But see, it gets in range, it hits me. Don't really have much in the way of hit effects right now. So that was an attempted lunge right there that it just did. Didn't really go that far though. Thought it would have lunged a little further. So this is one of the few things I did do. Just basically created a zombie texture, whited out their eyes a little bit. She's a bit scantily clad because my clothing assets are pretty limited. That was part of the reason for getting this character pack. And main, oh, push her down. Let's talk about that quick. We knocked her over. Let's go ahead and stomp that head in. Why not? Oh my gosh, we missed the second one because she started getting up. So yeah, stomp wasn't too bad to implement. Still a little finicky. I could make it better, but it works. Does big damage to the zombie head. Up there we go. This is kind of what I wanted to see too. So we got a struggle event going on, which means the zombie grabbed the player, and I had to use some IK here, some nice inverse kinematics, if you will, to line the player's hands up like on the shoulders, or at least, you know, it'll look like it's on the shoulders or close enough in the first person view. Because we had to add some back and forth to the zombie, which I'm also just using IK for that. Just have it moving a little, following a target, I believe, or maybe just moving towards a player. Forget exactly how I did it. Just moving back and forth a bit to create a more dynamic experience. Because it's still not that exciting, the struggle event. I definitely have to up the excitement factor. A lot can be done with screen effects, I want to say. So some, you know, black vignette, maybe some shaking, stuff like that. And obviously great sound effects. So sound effects and screen effects will have to do a lot of the heavy lifting, I think, there. But also mechanically speaking, and just zombie facial animation wise, I'm not sold. I'm definitely gonna have to get a new model at some point. But anyways, yeah, redoing the zombie facial animations, getting a much better aggressive facial animation during that was also going to be huge, because right now it's not where it needs to be. But aside from that, mechanically, I think I'm going to probably change it to, and I know this could be an accessibility thing, but I'll probably end up changing it to like a rapid click thing or something like that, where you got to, you know, try to fill up a meter before X amount of time. Because right now you just push, and the percentage is probably a little too high, and my player started with some bonus strength. So I'll probably just push a zombie off first try. Instead, I'm going to let it bite me, actually. So, yep, just bit me. Saw the blood fly a little bit. Now I'm infected for sure, too. Go ahead, just punch the zombie a bit. So currently I don't have any weapons implemented. That'll be another big next thing. Because, oh, and we killed it, finally. Perfect. Because believe it or not, something as seemingly simple as keeping the hands in the camera view when I look up and down and punching, my punches going down, punches going up, that was actually kind of difficult to do. So, and that's also done through inverse kinematics, IK, of course. So just following some targets for my hands. Basically, I have a unarmed position. And I have, you know, literal game objects that don't have anything on them. They're just, you know, a transform. They're invisible. That are in front of the player where you see the hands position now. That way, and also because of the fact that my player model is real and true, when I look down, those are moving with my player. So therefore, the hands will move in that same spot too. And then basically when I throw a punch, I transition from, you know, this position to the hit target position, which is, you know, in front of the player, of course. Speaking of which, you know, we don't punch through the wall. We punch it and it goes back. Pretty nice. Heard that nice wooden sound. We got a metallic one. So yeah, we did a lot there. And on that note, you know, even one-handed and two-handed weapons will definitely require a pretty decent amount of work, I'm sure, to start implementing. See, we even have a search on the zombie. So this is part of what I was going to talk about earlier with the clothes. Due to my limited clothes, I just basically have the zombies randomly spawn with an outfit, and part of that could be no clothes. So just kind of how that is. So we could pop those off if we want. Oh my gosh, naked zombie. Let's give it my pants. Hey, look at that. It's got my pants on. Let's equip these. Swap. Oh, we found a bug, didn't we? That's so weird. This bug did not exist a little bit ago, but I did make some changes recently to some stuff. So, well, okay. Well, we're going to have to deal with that. I'm going to write that down on the board here. Great. Okay. Just had to make that note. I will fix that bug likely as soon as we're done here. I don't think that one will be too hard. It's just not unequipping for some reason, but could be trickier, of course. Anyway, so we got that. Zombies have some pathing. They can hear. They obviously can see the player. They can be knocked over. Can drink, drop. Let's go ahead and drink it. No animation yet for drinking or eating. But that meter in the bottom right did fill up. If we get lucky. All right, let's not. I'm sure there's a lot more, but that kind of just covers the basics for now. And yeah, I'm sure I've gone on in way more detail and talked about way more than most people would care to hear anyways. But yeah, I'm sure I'll think of some more stuff to add and or just be making another video in the future. All right. Talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Oh, look at zombies killed 420, by the way. And I'm dead. Perfect way to end the video.